You do a pull, and that magical moment happens. You're finally going to get an SSR. It's going to be, you know what, fuck this intro, bro. This shit's personal. This is pain. This is a card that is fucking amazing. Could be fucking amazing, but it's just been left on the wayside. Not only is this card bad for the current quote-unquote meta, but it's actually kind of odd because it's the only card in the game of its type. What I'm talking about is your boy, super duper TEQ Final Form Frieza. This is actually the only Final Form Frieza you can pull in this game. Obviously, there's the Int Final Form Frieza. There's also the AGL Final Form Frieza, which is a friggin' SR. But as for right now, he's the only TEQ Final Form Frieza you can pull. He came out in the first 6 months of the game. He's actually the first SSR, fun fact, to have supreme damage, alright? Ignore the fact that he looks like a little Nigerian child with a big-ass head, and his fucking forehead is, like, rivaling the size of Rihanna's. Don't think about that, alright? Don't look at that shit. Look at the rest of them. Pretend that head isn't there. Jesus, he got a big fucking head. Nigga looks like Brainiac. But listen, this guy has been a favorite of mine for a while. Just because of the fact that he's Frieza. And that's something that does help this card, is the fact that he is a Frieza card. And as you can see that, look at that. Beautiful. I actually got him duped up a little bit with one dupe. So he's actually pretty good. His crit is pretty legit. But like I said, the saving grace for this guy is the fact that he's a Frieza card, because he has Universe's Most Malevolent, which gives him attack plus 15%. This is really good. Only downside is that it's with only Frieza. So, you know, people like Final Form Frieza or Golden Frieza have it, but cards like Cooler and even Metal Cooler do not. So it's very specific. Very cool, though, because it definitely does add a little bit of a uniqueness to Frieza cards. But unfortunately, your boy gets attack plus 15%. He could get another 15% if he Dokkan and got Fierce Battle. And speaking of another 15% to make 30%, look at that passive. It's fucking depressing. I mean, listen. Fuck, no. This is a good card, goddammit. This is low-key a good card, okay? Here's the positive, right? It's attack plus 30%. So technically, that's a little bit better than saying, say, attack plus 1500. Because right now, with a lot of the percent-based leaders, it's better if a card has a passive with a percentage increase than a flat attack boost. So he's got that going for him, even though it's fucking 30%. Don't think about that. Fuck that. He actually has shocking speed, which is really good because you can pretty much mix and match him with a bunch of different cards. And actually makes him really good on a tech team because cards like Beerus, Whis, and your boy Pycon have shocking speed, so it gives him some utility. And he also has Nightmare, which is pretty good because most villains have it, either Nightmare and Fear and Faith. So that's pretty good. Another attack plus 10%, which isn't bad. He also has Prodigies, which is alright. It's only attack plus 700, which is whatever. And then that's pretty much it. And then here we go. Here's the big boy. This is the thing that actually makes him pretty good, right? Strongest clan in space. Lets him link with people like Final Form Cooler, or even people in his family like King Cold or other Friezas. It's pretty good. It's another 2 key. It basically bridges the gap if someone doesn't have shocking speed. But that's pretty much it. This card is actually so old. It's one of the few SSRs that does not have 7 links. Usually most SSR cards, they have an entire link set of at least 7 links. You know, there'd be Fierce Battle or, I don't know, something. I mean, even fucking, at this point, Fear and Faith would be nice for this guy. It would actually make him get more key with other villains. But, you know, God forbid if he was a good card. He's only the only Final Form Frieza in the game. Only guy. And he's getting shafted like a motherfucker. Here, see, this is the thing that makes this card actually pretty bad, right? It's the fact that he's already gotten a Dokkan Awakening. Technically, it's not the worst thing because it's a Dokkan into a UR, so technically, maybe along down the road, he can actually get a Dokkan back down to Final Form Frieza and get something like, I don't know, Fierce Battle and maybe Fear and Faith as a link set, which would be amazing and actually make him really good. And this is the thing, right? Using him right now, he's not that bad, believe it or not. He's actually pretty decent when you use him on a team with, you know, shocking speed people. I personally really like using him on my mono tech team. It's actually pretty fucking good with him on it. He's pretty good, especially when he links with Golden Frieza, just because of the fact that they both have shocking speed and they both share Universe's most malevolent. So that's definitely really good. Only downside being that, obviously, this Frieza doesn't have Fierce Battle and Golden Frieza does. But, I mean, you can bridge that gap with other people who do have Fierce Battle. It's not that big of a deal. But, I mean, this Frieza, unlike all the other cards I've talked about, I actually use him. I actually like him. Some cards I've used him in the past. They've been whatever, passe, blah, blah, blah. But this Frieza is actually pretty cool. He's not that bad, especially, like I said, I have one dupe in him. So he's kind of, I mean, the thing is, a dupe is in him, so that gives him a ridiculous boost. I mean, the criticals for this guy aren't that bad. They're around the 400k mark if you're on monotech, around the 200k mark if you're doing no attack boost, which is kind of, for a mid-tier SSR, that's not that bad. But for what this card could be, what he could be, that's really shit. I mean, really, this card is really juxtaposed well with Super Saiyan 2 STR Gohan because they both came out around the same time. They both had supreme damage at a time when most SSRs had extreme. They both pretty much had the same leader skill where, you know, instead of tank and STR type HP attack plus 20%, I think it's AGL and STR and something else for Gohan. But Gohan actually got a decent Dokkan Awakening. When the Cell event comes, he's going to Dokkan, and his shitty attack plus 30% passive is going to explode into Ki plus 3 and attack plus 70%. That's fucking amazing. And that's the thing with this Frieza is that it is pretty good. It's not the worst. Out of all the cards I've talked about, this is probably the best one. But it's the fact that he could be so much better. He doesn't have to be a lower to mid-tier guy. He could be fucking top dog. He could have top billing if he just had at least 60% attack to his passive and at least Fierce Battle is a link. Please, God, don't give him fucking Shattering the Limit. He's the only, come on. He's the only final form Frieza in the game, for Christ's sake. Have some fucking mercy on this big-headed buffoon. But he's not that bad. Definitely, like I said, this tech team, I think is really good. You could probably swap out Vegito for Pikkon or someone else with Shocking Speed. I usually keep Golden Frieza and Frieza together just because they link really well. And then keep LR Goku and your boy Bardock together. Yo, shout out to this Bardock, by the way. Wow, fuck that. It's about Frieza right now. And there's also, you could also have a Shocking Speed team, a Rainbow Shocking Speed. I recommend if you do have Golden Frieza just to keep him on the field. It definitely helps. And again, this kind of highlights the stupidity of what this fucking Frieza gets as a Dokkan Awakening. Because, like I said, it's a Dokkan Awakening to a UR, so he doesn't get Fierce Battle, right? And this happened a long time ago, so... You know, usually when a card Dokkans early on, it's not as good as it would be now. But it actually Dokkans into Golden Frieza. So if you were to Dokkan him, you couldn't use this Golden Frieza, which is arguably superior to the Dokkan Awakening, with this Golden Frieza. Not only that, once you Dokkan Awaken Final Form Frieza into Golden Frieza, he loses Shocking Speed, gets Revival, which is fucking retarded, and he also only gets a 10% attack boost to his passive. So it's like, what the fuck's the point? There's no point. You lose a good link, and you end up making him look like a fucking asshole. And he can't even link with his best friend, Golden Frieza. So fuck that shit. Also, one team that I'm really looking forward to right now, it kind of looks ass. Could be decent. But eventually, this Metal Cooler is going to get a Dokkan. It's actually going to be one of the better Dokkans. He's going to get Ki plus 3, HP attack and defense plus 20% for everyone. That's really fucking good. Obviously, if you have Goku Black, that would work out really well. And my goal is basically to have Metal Cooler, probably this Cooler, who Dokkans, by the way. He actually gets Fierce Battle eventually when the Cooler event comes, along with this Frieza and Golden Frieza, and of course, the behemoth that is not on this team now, but is coming pretty soon to Global, LR Frieza. LR Frieza is going to be fucking amazing. He'll have Universe's Most Malevolent, plus Strongest Clan in Space, and it's a win-win. Like, how are you not going to fucking be happy with that? That's going to be amazing. And there's no, like, bleeding through, because there's no good first form Frieza in the game yet. It's pretty much just been SRs, so there's no stepping on toes here. So I think that's a really solid team. I will at least do that. And not only that, not only are you going to get LR Frieza on this team with these guys, but the other guy who's going to be, oh my god, and you can get him, and I recommend you do get him, is Final Form 100% power, full power Frieza, who he has Strongest Clan in Space. He also has Over in the Flash, but no other Frieza has that. And he also has Universe's Most Malevolent, and he has Fierce Battle, so that's ridiculous. That's really good. I recommend for that when the Red Dragonstones come out. I mean, LR Broly, if you have him, then STR Broly's irrelevant. AGL Goku, he's always been meh. Gohan is okay, but he's not that amazing. TEQ Perfect Cell is very niche. He can only link with himself pretty much. But that Frieza, arguably, is amazing because his passive is attack plus 120% on Super. That's really fucking good, dude. You can't beat that. That's really good. So, arguably, you can have a really good Frieza team. I mean, on this team, the cooler, the Final Form coolers from the World Tournament, so I don't know if you could really get that. Maybe he'll become summonable in the future. This first form cooler, the AGL one, is free, and you can get that. And if you really want to go with it, you could put Int Cooler on this team, but he's not that great. Obviously, King Cold, pretty much anyone with Strongest Clan in Space, Thirst for Conquest, Nightmare, or Universe's Most Malevolent will be really good on this team. But for me, personally, it's either Shocking Speed or Monotech. That's just what I like. Eventually, when LR Frieza comes out, and when Full Power Frieza comes out, and hopefully when your boy Mecha Uzaru Super Duper Kura actually gets his Dokkan Awakening, that'll be legit. Because not only does your boy Kura get Ki plus 3 HP attack and defense plus 20% as a lead, he also gets Ki plus 2 and attack plus 30% for extreme types. So that's pretty fucking good, dude. I think Frieza team arguably is going to be one of the better ones. Obviously, if you have Goku Black, then you have nothing to worry about. I mean, no matter what, when you're making a villain team, you're usually going to have at least 3 Friezas. You're going to have the Golden Frieza, you're going to have LR Frieza, and you're going to have Full Power Frieza. So throw in Final Form Frieza. He's got the links. He's pretty fucking good. I pray to God maybe I get one more dupe so I can make him even better. But, I mean, as for right now, unfortunately, he is dated. He's extremely dated. But, like I said, out of all the cards I've talked about, he's probably the very best. He's the only card I actually use regularly. So, with that, all I've got to say is that this dude's head is really fucking big. No joke.
Get crazy. Go, you done did it. Just, you done did it. Just swing your arms in the air. Got a big ass head, you don't care. Just swing your arms in the air. You got a big ass head, you don't care. Hold up.